Hi everyone. So today what I am doing is I am figuring out my trellis and I'm putting in Pinata Climbing Roses. Now it doesn't look like much, but I am figuring out placement. So I've been tape measuring and I'm using the same trellis that I have at the back of the yard, so I've already measured it. But I want to get these in, time is going by, and I probably won't pick up the arbor for another 2 weeks. So I'm going to plant these up and do the cardboard around them. And I'm probably going to pick up a couple tomato cages, which I don't have yet, but I'll pick them up and put around them to give them some support while I wait for the arbor. But this gets them in because they've been in the cans too long and I don't want to leave them any longer. So I'm just figuring out the measurement. Now the Oriole is very unhappy with me because I am right at her feeder, right there. So she's been barking at me a little bit, not happy because she wants her jam. So I will get these in and then I can get my tomato cages and they can start living their life. But first I got to dig them down better because these are zone 4. The Pinata Climbing Rose is zone 4. So I have to be able to dig them down deep enough because I'm going to have to protect them for the winter. So let's get this digging done. So as you can see, it's not a big opening, but the trellis isn't very wide either. And this is just supposed to be a small opening into the end of the garden area. So I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna backfill with dirt. And then I'm gonna come in with my boxes and surround it with boxes and put mulch in there. And then the dirt will go on top of the mulch too. That's how I'm using up the mulch, because I don't want the mulch on top without any dirt on it because it brings ticks, because it's natural mulch. You can see all the mulch here I have to use, quite a bit. But I find the mulch really handy for marking out the bed, which is what I will use it for. But at least I got these in. Now these are the Pinata Climbing Roses. You can see there. And if you can read that, it's a yellow-orange rose. Flowers are 2 to 3 on a stem. They bloom mid-spring, early summer. They get a height to 6 to 8 feet. They require light pruning and relatively moist, well-drained soil. This soil is extremely well-drained, so it is perfect for these roses. And they don't have to totally be on center. I think I got them pretty good, but they don't have to be. They can be out a little bit here and there. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And the reason I say that is because they will grow how they want to grow. And sometimes one side's bushier than the other, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm not too concerned about my placement of them, although I did measure them out and eyeball them and mark things out to a certain degree. And you can see they're getting lots of sun here, and the sun is coming from the east. So that should work for them. So now my next step is to backfill them. But first I want to show you the color of how dark the Pinata Rose gets as it ages. This is Pinata. This is when the flower is older. It almost turns to an orangey kind of red. They start out as a yellow orange and then they eventually get darker, which is interesting. A lot of flowers become lighter, but this is becoming darker and almost looks like a red, but it's kind of a deep orange. I have them right here, and I'm going to backfill with a mixture of topsoil and compost, and then I'm going to water them in good, get some tomato cages to support them until I get my arbor, and then I'm going to put boxes around them to kill the grass and mulch, and then there'll be dirt on top of the mulch. And this is the start of the entrance to this area over here, just like that. So I think that'll look really good. They do not have to be perfect in their placement because they're going to be on an arbor, and roses will grow how roses want. You can see already this one has more canes coming this way than this one does. So they're never perfect when you plant flowers, and that's what makes them beautiful in the cottage garden, because you don't want perfection. You want color, beauty, and you want the beds to look full. So this, I think, will work. All right, so now it's time to backfill. You can also see how well I buried the root ball. They're down really good so that when I backfill, they'll be well protected. And because I have to protect them, I want to make sure they're down low to protect that root ball from the weather. Now, I'm in zone 3, and this is zone 4 roses. The big thing for zone 4 plants, if you're growing in them in a lower zone, like 3 for instance, because I'm just pushing one level, is they will be okay in here. But because we have brutal winters and we can get down to -40, you got to protect them from the northwest wind. So that's the brutally cold wind that blows into the prairies where I live. So they need to be protected. Because they are way over here on the south side of the yard, southeast, they have some protection besides what I'm going to give them. Those spruces will provide a lot of protection against that wind, which is perfect. And then if I go over here, this will also provide protection. So I think that will work. And then when I protect them, that's the extra layer that they will get for the winter. And I'll probably protect them like I do the miniature roses. And I'll lay them down probably more. You'll see it in a video how I'm doing it, and we'll see if they survive. This is a good test. So I've backfilled with this topsoil mix with the compost, and I've tamped them in to firm them in there. And the next step is to grab the boxes and mulch them up after I water them. So now I'm going to water them. I think they look really good, and I'll move the bird feeder later. So there's a cardboard down. I'm just running it straight across, and that's one side. I've left openings around the roses just in case it takes a while for the water to soak in, but I don't foresee any problems. They will get what they need. In fact, I'm going to cut that one a little bit more. And then I'm going to put the other piece of cardboard on the other side to keep the grass out. Okay, so I've overlapped the cardboard, and the first place I'm going to put the mulch is in the center to hold this down so it doesn't fly away. The mulch will provide the weight, and then dirt goes on top. But for today, I just want to get the mulch down to hold this in place. So I'm going to do that now. And then I'll come through with the tomato cages, put them in, and then I will look at the dirt and putting that on here. But you see the wind starting to really pick up. So when they grind trees down, they grind them so deep that they kick up dirt too. So in your mulch is also your topsoil and tree bark shavings that get mixed in it. So you get a really nice mixture of compost here. The more dirt is in it, the better off you are for it becoming slash a mulch compost. So you can see here the dirt, and over there it's a little drier. So I try to mix the two together when I'm putting it down. Now let's go over here and have a look at what I did. Okay, so I've covered all the cardboard over. Now you may say, Jack, I thought you were putting an arbor in here. Yes, I am. So when the arbor goes in, I will basically just rake this mulch off in the center, because it's only to hold the cardboard, and push it to the sides. And then I will come through with my arbor and my path that's going to go through here. So that is how I did it. Now, I pulled the compost away from the rows so they can get the water as well. If this compost slash mulch does heat up, it's not going to fry the roses' roots. So that would be a key thing. Same with this one. You will see I pulled it back. So that will help protect the roses, and it keeps the cardboard in place. And it will keep the moisture in place for them too when we get these rains today that we're supposed to get. So that's it for this project. They are looking fantastic. All I have left is to get the tomato cages for it, and that will finish it for today. But stay tuned. This is just the beginning. I need to mark out cardboard all the way from there over here, all the way to the end of my path over here, because I'm going to line up with that, and that is the inside of the bed, not the outside, the inside of the bed. Rob is busy over here working on sprinklers. So I'm going to clean up some of the chunky stuff out of this mulch and put it in my yard waste bin. We are building compost bins at the back of the yard here, but it's going to have to wait until Rob's laid off for the summer for us to do some of these projects. You guys, there's just not enough hours in the day when you work for a living to be out in the garden. I'd love to be out here 8 hours a day because, man, could I accomplish stuff. But hey, I need a paycheck. So that's just the way it goes. That's part of gardening life. And not all of us can, quit our day jobs to garden full time, nor in the winter would I want to, quite honestly, because our winters are harsh, cold, long. And, sometimes it's hard to come up with projects in the winter for you guys. Like, I have to really try to think out of the box. So it'll be fun this winter because I have some ideas and I'm hoping to put them in place. But anyhow, I digress. So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned. There's more coming. You may not agree with my methods, and I'm okay with that. Each gardener, they do their own thing on how they garden. And I respect how other people garden. It's their choice. Quite honestly, it's the outcome of those gardening processes that matter. What goes into them to get them there is each gardener's choice. So I don't judge other gardeners for really how they do things. Thanks everyone for watching. And don't forget, keep your roses happy. Bye.